Chapter 14. Fortune Ship Launch. Shortly before Sirio communicated to Sana, "Please, Deputy Director Kamachi." Alan was begging Kamachi. Everyone is paid, and they are fulfilling their obligations with rare goods discovery, so it's not a problem for me to give you money if you bring me goods. So, you want us to find rare goods for money? Fine by me. I thought that you would say that, so I had the guild accounting office draft up an invoice. Huh? What the hell? What is this? Alan, who saw the invoice, got mad. This is the invoice for the cost of what you spent. What? Why? If you want any money beyond living expenses, you're going to have to find something that pays off your debt first. But that's too high a debt. Then why did you spend it? That's only the exact amount you spent. Well, everyone else spent it too. Did you hear what he said, Barry Cohen? Hey, I was just joking. I wasn't serious. Hey, Kamachi thrust a gun to Alan's head. I advise you to shut up and start looking, unless you want to go out this way. Don't forget that we are space pirates. I understand. Now, like I said, for your earnings, they will go towards living expenses and paying your debt. Humph. Alan kicked the wall. You had to ask her. It's really your own fault, isn't it? Barry said. This has to be a joke. An elaborate joke. That makes no sense, right? Kamachi was pretty serious. There has to be a way around this. Who's her superior? Our boss. Huh. Well then, Barry, Cohen. You guys get bonuses for this, right? Alan suddenly underwent a strange change, and his voice sounded sneaky. Oh, that's right. Well, then we are teammates. We have shared all this time of pain and fun together, right? Our debts are already paid off. What? To be exact, Kamachi paid them off for us. Barry said. Cohen hit him with his elbow. Hey, you weren't supposed to tell him that. How come you guys got your debt paid off? Why didn't you need to pay it off yourself? Well, we interviewed to be Kamachi's underlings. We won't let her know what you said, though. Hey, I should be able to say something like that, too. You can ask, but she might put a gun in your mouth again. Then. I have a bit of urgent business to take care of. Alan ran away quickly. Sirio touched the plate part of a door. The large, armored door opened without a sound. Isn't this your private room? Can I come in? It also serves as an office. It's quite a big place. We should put your office space in here as well. Good idea. Sirio said to Kamachi. Well, come on in and sit down. I'll pour some tea now. Kamachi headed to a small kitchen after Sirio sat on a couch. There's nothing to worry about. What do you think about maybe attaching an extra container to the lucky ships to store our loot? Then mobility would be reduced. Right now, our ships are small and highly mobile. We need that advantage. What about advanced compression space technology? That's impossible. We're not the Academy, and it would be impossible to provide that technology as a part of the Tennan conglomerate. Wouldn't it be possible for the Federation to do so? I think we would need to improve our quantity of good luck items before we try that, don't you? Sirio took out a luck meter. It vibrated suddenly. The needle went off the charts. What's the matter? Sirio ignored the question from Kamachi and looked around. There was a decorative shelf in the room. Small pieces of antique items such as wood-carved dolls and dishes were lined up. What are you doing? I'm picking up something strange. Oh, I see. Kamachi looked a little happy. Haven't you realized that these are extremely lucky goods? What? You don't have a luck meter? Look closely at this. Sirio showed Kamachi a luck meter with the needle going off the charts. Kamachi was speechless. The lucky ship Secret Dock was a mobile ship disguised as an asteroid. It was originally built to be the Big Daruma's dock. On it was a good luck ship wrapped up with good luck goods. Measures were taken to avoid anyone knowing its location but even, so it still had proper shielding around it to be safe. The lucky ship's flight was slightly lonesome, as it was a confidential one. There was no fanfare or send-off, as the new ship of the Daruma Guild Code named the Good Luck Ship sailed off. Confirmation of enemy signature. It seems to be a lucky ship that must have survived our last encounter. The Kamade quickly recognized the lucky ship when it jumped out. It was a flashy ship like a treasure ship. It didn't look like it was a Daedalus-class ship at all. Sirio had already sent the message to them on Emuum challenging the Kamade to a duel. It's so tacky, Ryoko murmured. To be honest, when I heard that it was made using the Daedalus schematics as the base, I was worried. But can I shoot? Amain asked. I know how you feel. Captain? Kariko left the decision to Sena. We're getting a communication from the enemy ship. Do I turn on the monitor? Ha 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 ha. A monitor opened. Sirio was displayed. I know that you are there. Sena Yamada. Ouch! Suddenly the picture of Sirio swayed greatly. Amain. The reason was that Amain attacked him with the Kamedake. Ignoring Sena, Amain began firing rapidly while remaining silent. Hey, I haven't even finished my speech. Prepare to retreat. No, wait. I'm still speaking. This is happening because you're speaking. You're just pissing off your opponents. What did I do? Think of your crew's feelings. Their lives are at stake. Kamachi understood Amain's feelings so painfully. I wonder what's bothering Kamachi so much? Alan asked. Somehow I understand her feelings. You can say that again. Alan's friend said in a loud voice. Hey, you guys don't just stand around, do something. Yes, ma'am. Some spotlights shined on the bridge facilities, such as casinos, emerged from the dark. It's showtime. An android who was wearing a bunny outfit declared. A crowd cheered. The crew of the lucky ships was, of course, the audience. To flee, we need the luckiest coordinates possible. Roger that. Why are you trying to escape? Victory is ours. Sirio said. This ship is still in the test phase. We don't need the Kamedake to be our first opponent. But I worked so hard to arrange this. Fine. Ha ha ha. But we should at least have some fun. Sirio took several cards from an android hostess and distributed them to Kamachi and Alan. How about a bingo game? The winner will receive lots of prizes. A huge bingo machine began to spin. First up, B-17. What? The enemy is moving. The behavior of the lucky ship, which stood still until then, changed dramatically, and it began to counterattack the Kamedake. Has their mobility increased? This is different. I can't predict their movement. Ha ha ha. What's wrong, Sena Yamada? Can't hit us? I-21. Oh, bingo. Sirio declared, raising his hand. Really? Obviously. Look at this. Hurrah for bingo. It's so easy to avoid the Kamedake's attacks. Maybe you just need to have a little confidence in your own work? What? You were fortunate on your own. Most of these objects are quite common. Although the Lucky Ship project was the most important project for the guild, lucky merchandise was not easy to gather. Of course, there were many people who came along for the gold, but there were many space pirates who wanted to have their own lucky goods to cause probability fluctuation in their favor. That is why the quality of the lucky items was much less than the quantity. It was impossible for me to say this when we were originally enemies, which is not fair, but I was always impressed by your work. You mean that? Well, enough of being sentimental. Let's get to attacking. They're attacking us now too? Amain and Kariko looked pretty impatient. It was because every trajectory for evasion was blocked off. Mia, while Amain's maneuvering and shooting assistance had helped her so far. Fuku, who was still inexperienced, began to panic as she sat at her usual fixed position on the table. Do a super space jump at once, as far as possible. Sena saw her panic and immediately ordered. Both Amain and Kariko had a sense of despair, especially Amain, who was disgusted by Sirio. So to speak, she had found a cockroach in the room in the middle of the night. She didn't want to ignore it and leave. She couldn't sleep unless she killed it. However, Sena felt something else entirely. His danger signal was ringing. Emergency jump. Enemy torpedoes ejected. It'll hit us before we jump. Fire resonance bombs. I'm sensing a gravity wave. What? It was a space pirate ship jumping out from hyperspace at a close range. Oops. Since Sena was there, they should have thought about the possibility that other space pirates would be attracted. However, they were distracted by the fight with the lucky ship and didn't take it into account. The Kamedake shook with a tremendous shock, the shields interfered with each other, and sparks flew out. Of course, the strength of the shield was overwhelmingly high with the Kamedake, but it still had spot-sized holes in some places. And in those holes, torpedoes launched by the Fortune ship flooded in continuously. Even though the Kamedake received a direct hit from the torpedoes without a shield, it wasn't enough to destroy it. The outer shell was broken, and then the next torpedo came into it. Jaya! A screaming Fuku stopped moving. Main system down. Did it hit the core directly? Fuku. 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 Running to the table, Sena shook Fuku, who was convulsing. Fuku got up in a stupor, as if she was totally drunk. She leaned against Sena's hands. Humia. Switching to the subsystem. Emergency jump. The Kamedake escaped to hyperspace by manual control while receiving the attack from the Fortune ship. Gahahahaha. Ha ha ha. Daruma was smiling a huge smile. It brought him more pleasure than when the Luck Fleet escaped the Mikagami. Come now, don't hesitate to party. He beckoned to the few people in the room with him. We haven't defeated the Kamedake yet, Sirio said in disagreement. True, and that's a shame, but the test was a massive success, wouldn't you say? Huh. My bad, I thought we were celebrating the defeat of the Kamedake. I'm a greedy guy, but I know when to take my winnings. There's no doubt that they will come up with some kind of countermeasures since they have the Academy behind them. Well, it's just as you say, but we knew that. Of course, I don't intend to send the ship out again as it is. We'll increase the luck items, and of course the bingo prizes will be up too. So, you plan further power-ups? Yes, so today to celebrate, you should drink up. You're the guest of honor. Understood. Sirio gave a cup to Alan's trio. Come on, have fun and enjoy it. To victory, he declared. Oh! Alan, Barry, and Cohen cheered, and they were surrounded by hospitable companion girls. I'm glad we became space pirates. No way the Kamedake can't lose. At the president's office of Galaxy Academy, Eri and Mikami had a face-to-face talk with puzzled expressions on their faces. Besides that, it seems that Sirio-kun is their captain. The Daruma Guild must be desperate. Well, the Tenin group sure will do anything to make a profit. It's amazing, really. Aren't they worried what will happen if they win? Their profit is guaranteed even if they lose, and the rest of the Federation is remaining silent on the matter, so there's no problem. They're just truly enthusiastic about business. They don't care who wins or loses. We're just lucky Sena got back safely. We need to do whatever we can to help him. Ho ho ho, which seems to have already been done, hasn't it? Well, the Kamedake is Ms. Washu's work, so it's top of the line. We're going to have to think outside the box. The damaged Kamedake was in a secret dock Washu owned in the Academy and was undergoing renovation and restoration. Wow, I'm speechless. Sito said, but Washu was immersed in her work. I told you it would give them a nice handicap. I knew this would happen. I did it with this assumption. For what reason? Accumulation of experience, eliminating weaknesses. I was able to actually see the competence of Sena. Well, it's quite a splendid place to start from. But thanks to you, Kariko is depressed. If I was defeated by the Lucky Fleet, I'd feel depressed too. Kariko regretted nearly wrecking the Kamedake and that Fuku was injured from her misjudgment of the situation. Well, that's just the fate of my child named Fuku. She knew it was her fate when she was born to her husband Sena as a battleship. She had no objections, so she should be okay, don't you think? You don't plan on bringing any more difficulties like that against Sena, are you? But it's fun and the experience values accumulated come with such tremendous momentum. Thanks to Sena. Oh, and I can't forget to thank Kariko's team. Their experimental subsystem was very useful this time. When Fuku was no longer able to control the Kamedake, they were able to escape by activating the subsystem built by Kariko. Of course, there was an evacuation program in the event of an emergency, but if a lucky ship was their opponent, it would take more time for the initial move. It could have caused more damage. Oh yeah. Another thing, from this battle, I now understand the details of the probability correction of Kariko's team. Is that true? The data monitor started before Sito. The expression of Sito, who confirmed it, quickly changed to that of surprise. Isn't it interesting? I see, so that's the case, but this could be a problem. I wonder how having Hakuren's team around changed things, and the holes here, and what do I do about the mirror? As a mirror of Sito, she couldn't reveal her existence to Sena, neither could she be with him. Just watch from a distance. It will clear itself up. I have no doubt that Seina's biased probability attracts these people to correct itself. The rate at which it happens is speeding up. Regardless, the correction should work without them. I hope so. It's evident that with Kiriko and Hakuren's groups, he already has 2 groups. We should expand our range of people to check. I'll thank you for your cooperation. Masaki Kiriko, a main Kanak, Ryoko Balta, Neju Nam Melmas. Karen, Jaikiran, Sueron, Hakuren. Masaki Tsukiko, Kuramitsu Mikami, Mirror Seto. Fuku, Kirchi. Tatsuki Ringo Seto was looking at a list written by Washu. Eri-chan is not on here. Oh, luckily for us, Eri-chan's not a part of this. When she was put into a girl's body on Earth, Eri-chan became the fixed nickname to call Eri between Seto and Washu. That's good. The thought of her being a part of it is terrifying. As for Eri, it seems that Yosho is finally taking responsibility. Well, somehow, it seemed they both enjoyed their time on Earth. Things might get interesting if they do it again next year. Ho ho. What kind of fun are they having? Seto came close to Washu's face intriguingly. Ahuhu, well Minaho might end up with a brother or sister. That's more terrifying than anything you've said yet. Well, at least Eri would be a little more grown up about it now. Kikik, I'd feel sorry for Minaho. That's a pity. I hoped that Eri's trip would resolve some of her depression as well. You should hurry and find someone to marry her, otherwise the rest of her family will beat her to the punch. It's already close to that, though, but we're getting off track. When will the Kamedake be ready? Oh, yes, right. Because it received a direct hit at the core, I'd like to spend more time reinforcing and repairing it this time. Fuku is still growing, and I think it might be important to, hurry that. Maybe we could put her in an acceleration space. Good thing I asked. Right now is perfect for that. The lucky ship is in a testing phase, so it won't be moving anytime soon. But I'm worried about Sirio being Seina's opponent. I don't want to rush them into a fight with him. You might not have a choice. Is there any other solution? Overprotection isn't good. The essence of wisdom is ingenuity, effort, and guts. Victory is just the matter of a simple power-up. If you keep trying the same thing, you're going to get stuck. You should know that.